This is bad, really bad. Christie Sides, Cheryl Miller, and Linn Dunn have just dropped some devastating news that has sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Known for their leadership and deep insight into the game, the trio's alarming revelation has everyone talking, and it could change the course of the season. Whether it's about player health, team dynamics, or something even bigger, this news isn't just a setback, it's a game changer, and the ripple effects will be felt for a long time. Stay tuned, because this could reshape everything.
You know, she's been playing and doing things and just getting an understanding of the league. Every game she gets a little bit better. Every game she gets a little bit understanding of, the speed and the quickness. I don't think, we had some opportunities in the middle pick and roll with her and AB and her and Liz that I don't think we capitalized on it. And she and I talked about that for a minute.
Caitlin Clark has become one of the most dominating forces in basketball, a name that evokes both admiration and awe. Coaches, analysts, and experts alike have been left speechless by her incredible performances, her leadership, and her ability to change the game single-handedly.
Well, I knew she was highly competitive, but I don't think I realized how highly competitive she is until we did some of those games, team building games during the Olympic break, and so she wants to win everything.
Her dominance on the court has made her a subject of both praise and analysis as the basketball world tries to make sense of what makes her so special.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year, and suddenly the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far in the league.
For many experts, the first thing that stands out about Clark is her sheer versatility. She can score from anywhere on the floor, whether it's deep beyond the arc, mid-range pull-ups, or driving to the basket with aggression.
Caitlin Clark is running away with the WNBA assists lead. She's 25 better than anybody else in the league. Pretty extraordinary for a rookie. Caitlin Clark, in a shock to me, has proven already to be a once-a-generation passer. I did not see that coming at Iowa. I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's, but passing like this? I'm talking about gifted, LeBron-esque bounce passing.
Her range is almost limitless, and the way she consistently knocks down shots from absurd distances has left coaches and defenders scratching their heads. It's not just about shooting ability, it's her timing and understanding of when to take over a game that separates her from others. She knows when her team needs her to step up, and she embraces the moment with an unshakable confidence.
No one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We love.
Coaches marvel at her court vision, which rivals some of the best point guards to ever play the game. Clark isn't just a scorer. She's a facilitator who makes her teammates better. Her passing ability is exceptional, and she seems to have an almost sixth sense of where everyone is on the floor.
I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see, Wilson said to the Associated Press.
This is what makes her so difficult to guard. Opponents know she's capable of going off for 30 or 40 points in a game, but if they focus too much on her scoring, she'll find an open teammate for an easy bucket. That balance between being a scorer and a playmaker is what makes her virtually unstoppable.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Coaches are often left in a bind when it comes to devising a game plan against Clark. She's too versatile to be guarded by just one type of player. Put a smaller, quicker defender on her.
Her three-point shooting has heated up, and nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can.
And she'll use her size and strength to get to the rim. Try a bigger, more physical player, and she'll shoot over them from deep. Double team her, and she'll find an open teammate with a perfect pass.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
There are no easy answers when it comes to slowing her down. And this is what has made coaches from opposing teams struggle to contain her. From a mental standpoint, experts point to her relentless work ethic and drive. Clark's dedication to improving her game is evident in her ability to consistently elevate her performance year after year.
A lot of people get emotional over a race, over how good you are, over if this person's a better basketball player. It is all about business for corporations, and it's all about, can you sell their product?
She puts in countless hours of practice, not just to refine her shooting, but to sharpen every aspect of her game.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
Her attention to detail, whether it's improving her ball handling or studying film to break down defenses, shows a level of commitment that is rarely seen, even at the highest levels of the sport.
2,826 gallons of beer have been sold.
Wow.
Draft beer. That's an increase of 740%. Hot dog sales up 300%.
Coaches speak highly of her discipline and her constant pursuit of perfection, which sets her apart from even the most talented players. Another aspect that experts admire is her leadership.
The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
Despite her young age, Clark commands respect from her teammates and coaches. She's vocal on the court, directing traffic and making sure everyone is in the right position. Her intensity is contagious, and she holds her teammates accountable in a way that makes them better.
Caitlin Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA. She's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I think that was lost on a lot of people. Watch her play. She plays at a high level, highly skilled. She's the best passer in America, and she's the best shooter in America.
It's rare to see someone so young exhibit such maturity and poise under pressure. But Clark embraces that responsibility with ease. She's not afraid to take charge, especially when the game is on the line. That type of leadership is invaluable, and it's a quality that coaches and experts believe will carry her far beyond her college years.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in American sports. There's not one other American athlete that could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
I think she should be up for MVP.
Many have compared Clark to some of the greatest to ever play the game, and for good reason. Her skill set is reminiscent of legends, but her ability to blend different styles into one cohesive game is what truly makes her unique.
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean like a maniac.
Experts see shades of Stephen Curry in her deep-range shooting, a touch of Magic Johnson in her playmaking, and a bit of Kobe Bryant in her fearless approach to big moments.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
But rather than being a copy of any one player, Clark has forged her own path, creating a style that is distinctively hers. Stephen A. Smith, Charles Barkley, and Shaquille O'Neal have just delivered some devastating news that has the entire sports world in shock. Known for their outspoken personalities and deep connections within the game, these three icons rarely come together with such urgency. Whatever they've revealed is bound to send ripple effects through basketball and beyond. This unexpected announcement is more than just a setback. It's a bombshell that changes everything, leaving fans and players alike reeling. Stay tuned, because this news is about to reshape the narrative in ways no one saw coming.
I love Caitlin Clark. She's been a guest on this show. I think she's spectacular. I'm the one that's been calling her the Steph Curry of women's basketball, and she has done nothing to push that back. I mean, this young lady is spectacular. She's been great for women's basketball overall, not just college basketball, but women's basketball. I think she has the potential, when all is said and done, to be arguably the greatest ever.
Caitlin Clark has taken the basketball world by storm, becoming a household name not just for her incredible skill, but also for her undeniable impact on the game. With every jaw-dropping performance, her supporters grow louder, and experts continue to heap praise on her.
Caitlin Clark is a special player. She reminds me of a Steph Curry. You know, a lot of times she takes those ill-advised shots that me and Chuck don't like, but they go in. Not only do they go in consistently.
At the same time, however, there remains a pocket of critics unwilling to fully embrace her talent.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world. Oh, you are. Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her.
The balance between admiration and criticism has created an ongoing conversation about one of the most dominant players in recent memory. Experts from every corner of the basketball world can't help but marvel at Clark's game. Coaches and analysts speak of her as if she's a once-in-a-generation player, someone who breaks the mold and forces the sport to evolve.
I knew she was highly competitive, but I don't think I realized how highly competitive she is until we did some of those games, team building games during the Olympic break, and so she wants to win everything.
One of the main reasons for this admiration is Clark's basketball IQ. Her ability to read the game, anticipate defenders, and make split-second decisions is something that can't be taught. She sees plays developing before anyone else on the floor, and that mental edge is what sets her apart.
Splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
Coaches, particularly those who faced her teams, have consistently highlighted her extraordinary understanding of the game. It's not just about her physical ability, it's the way she thinks the game that leaves even seasoned basketball minds in awe.
Any other player we have ever seen in the women's game, and it starts with the distance with which she shoots the basketball. We've never seen a player shoot from that deep range with that kind of efficiency.
Another key point of appreciation among experts is Clark's shooting ability. Her range is something few players, male or female, possess. The deep threes she makes regularly are reminiscent of NBA sharpshooters, and every time she steps beyond the arc, defenders are forced to stretch the floor in ways they're not used to.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. Like, we knew they were going to want to win, so we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Enrique gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her thing.
Analysts often compare her to the likes of Stephen Curry, noting that her presence on the court transforms the dynamics of the game. Defenders can't sag off her for a second because she's capable of draining a shot from almost anywhere.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push A'ja as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
This forces opposing teams to make difficult choices in how they guard her, and it's a testament to how she changes the very way the game is played.
No one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We love.
Clark's confidence on the court is another quality that experts appreciate. She's unafraid to take the big shots when it matters most, and she thrives in high-pressure situations.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year, and suddenly the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far in the league.
That mentality, wanting the ball in her hands with the game on the line, is something that can't be taught. It's a trait that only the truly great players have, and Clark's ability to step up in those moments is what separates her from the rest.
There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. If you like Caitlin Clark, you gotta hate Angel. And if you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah. It's not just about making the shot. It's about having the nerve to take it, regardless of the stakes. That fearlessness is something that experts admire because it speaks to her inner belief and desire to win at all costs.
I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see. Wilson said to the Associated Press.
Off the court, Clark's work ethic is often a talking point for those who've watched her develop. She isn't content to rely on her natural talent.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
Every offseason, she adds something new to her game, showing a commitment to self-improvement that many players struggle to match. Coaches and trainers who have worked with her consistently mention how dedicated she is to refining her skills, whether it's working on her ball handling, conditioning, or defensive footwork.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300.
That could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
Clark leaves no part of her game untouched. Experts love that she's never satisfied, always striving to be better, and this relentless pursuit of excellence is what will ensure her legacy continues to grow. But despite all the support and appreciation, there are still those who criticize her.
Caitlin Clark is running away with the WNBA assists lead. She's 25 better than anybody else in the league. Pretty extraordinary for a rookie. Caitlin Clark, in a shock to me, has proven already to be a once-a-generation passer. I did not see that coming at Iowa. I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's, but passing like this? I'm talking about gifted, LeBron-esque bounce passing.
For some, it's easier to focus on what they perceive as her flaws rather than acknowledge her brilliance. Some critics argue that she's too cocky or that she dominates the ball too much. There are always whispers of doubt about whether she's as good as the hype suggests or if she's simply benefiting from a system designed to showcase her skills.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
These critiques often come with a noticeable double standard, something that experts in the game recognize. Male athletes who show similar confidence are often celebrated for their swagger, while women like Clark are labeled as arrogant. Stephen A. Smith has recently sparked a heated debate with his latest commentary on Angel Reese and the WNBA. The outspoken sports analyst criticized Reese for what he described as stat padding, questioning the authenticity and integrity of her performances. Smith also took aim at the WNBA, accusing the league of overreacting and throwing a tantrum over Caitlin Clark's success and visibility. His remarks have ignited a firestorm of controversy, with fans and analysts weighing in on the legitimacy of his claims and the broader implications for both Reese and the league.
Unapologetically Angel. It's part of Playmakers Network of podcasts from Shaquille O'Neal. On the debut episode, co-host Maya Reese, who is Angel's cousin, asked her to address her feelings about rival Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark and the Fever's fan base. Take a look at what Angel Reese had to say about that. Quote, Caitlin Clark fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans, I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that. But when it comes to death threats, like I'm talking about people who have come down to my address, following me home, multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me naked, literally. They've sent it to my family members. It sucks to see that, and it's really hard that I have to go through that. End quote. If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said.
Stephen A. Smith, a prominent and often controversial sports commentator, has recently ignited a major debate within the sports world with his critiques of Angel Reese and the WNBA. Known for his provocative and sometimes polarizing opinions, Smith's recent remarks have stirred significant controversy, focusing on what he perceives as stat padding by Reese and an alleged overreaction by the WNBA to Caitlin Clark's rising prominence. His comments have sparked a broader discussion about the authenticity of athletic achievements, the role of media in shaping public perceptions, and the dynamics within women's basketball. Smith's critique of Reese revolves around the idea that her statistics may have been inflated by factors such as the level of competition or the context in which they were achieved. He argued that Reese's performances, while notable, were sometimes against weaker opponents or in situations where her numbers were artificially enhanced. According to Smith, this approach undermines the credibility of her achievements and skews public perception of her abilities. This perspective has been met with a range of reactions, from staunch defense of Reese's achievements to criticism of Smith's approach. Supporters of Angel Reese have strongly defended her against Smith's accusations. They argue that her statistical successes are a testament to her skill, hard work, and significant contributions to her team's success. Reese's performances have been consistently strong throughout her college career, and many see her accomplishments as a reflection of her talent and dedication. Critics of Smith's comments view his remarks as an attempt to diminish the significance of Reese's achievements and overlook the effort required to excel at such a high level. In addition to his comments on Reese, Stephen A. Smith has also directed his criticism towards the WNBA. His remarks focused on what he perceived as the league's disproportionate reaction to Caitlin Clark's rise to prominence. Clark, a standout guard for the Iowa Hawkeyes, has gained considerable attention for her exceptional performances and leadership on the court. Her visibility and success have brought a new level of recognition to women's college basketball. Smith's critique of the WNBA centered on the league's response to Clark's success, which he described as an overreaction. He suggested that the WNBA's response was akin to a tantrum, reflecting underlying insecurities or biases within the league. According to Smith, the WNBA's focus on Clark's achievements and the attention she was receiving seemed to be an attempt to downplay Clark's impact and assert the league's own significance. The backlash against Smith's comments about the WNBA was significant. Supporters of the league and Caitlin Clark argued that Smith's remarks were unfounded and unfair. They contended that Clark's success was well-deserved and that the WNBA should focus on celebrating and supporting emerging talents rather than engaging in internal disputes. For many, Smith's comments appeared to undermine the positive momentum and recognition that Clark and other players were bringing to women's basketball. The controversy surrounding Smith's commentary has sparked a broader discussion about the role of media in shaping public perceptions of athletes and the dynamics within women's basketball. Critics of Smith's approach argue that his focus on controversy and conflict detracts from meaningful discussions about the growth and development of the sport. They suggest that sensationalism and provocative statements can overshadow genuine analysis and respect for athletes. The debate also raises important questions about how success and performance are measured and recognized in sports. Angel Reese's statistical achievements and Caitlin Clark's rise to prominence are both significant milestones in women's basketball. The discussion around these issues highlights the complexities of evaluating and appreciating athletic performance, especially in a landscape where gender and media representation can influence perceptions. In addition to the specific controversies involving Reese and Clark, the broader conversation touches on issues of respect and professionalism in sports. The behavior and statements of media figures, like Stephen A. Smith, can have a significant impact on how athletes are perceived and how their achievements are valued. The controversy surrounding Smith's comments serves as a reminder of the need for thoughtful and respectful dialogue, both within the media and among fans. The ongoing debate also highlights the challenges faced by women's sports in gaining recognition and respect. Women's basketball, in particular, has historically struggled for visibility and appreciation compared to its male counterparts. The success of players like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark represents a significant step forward for the sport, and the focus should be on celebrating and supporting these achievements rather than engaging in divisive disputes. As the controversy continues to unfold, it remains to be seen how it will impact the broader discourse around women's basketball and the role of media figures in shaping public opinion. The discussions raised by Smith's comments may influence future interactions and set new standards for how athletes and their accomplishments are discussed and evaluated. In conclusion, Stephen A. Smith's recent commentary on Angel Reese and the WNBA has ignited a significant debate about authenticity, performance, and media representation in women's basketball. The debate ignited by Stephen A. Smith's remarks on Angel Reese and the WNBA has not only stirred intense discussions among fans and analysts, but also highlights deeper issues within the sports media landscape. As Smith's critique resonates through the world of women's basketball, it opens up a broader conversation about the intersection of media influence, athlete performance, and the evolving standards of sportsmanship and professionalism. Stephen A. Smith's comments about Angel Reese's alleged stat padding have been particularly controversial. Reese's statistical achievements, which include impressive scoring averages, rebounds, and defensive metrics, have been a significant factor in her success and recognition. Smith's assertion that these statistics might be padded suggests a skepticism about the context in which these numbers were achieved. He has implied that the quality of the opposition and the circumstances under which Reese accumulated her stats might not fully reflect her abilities or the legitimacy of her achievements. This perspective has sparked a vigorous defense of Reese from various quarters. Advocates argue that questioning the validity of her statistics undermines the hard work and skill she has demonstrated throughout her career. They point out that Reese has faced a range of opponents and has performed consistently at a high level, suggesting that her achievements are the result of genuine talent and dedication rather than inflated numbers. Caitlin Clark has made history in a way that's grabbing headlines across the sports world. In her burgeoning career, Clark has set new benchmarks in scoring that rival some of the most legendary figures in basketball, including Michael Jordan. Her record-breaking performances have set new standards for excellence in the WNBA and women's college basketball, reshaping perceptions and expectations in the sport. Clark's recent achievements, such as becoming the first player to score 1,000 points in a single season in college basketball or surpassing Jordan's single-season scoring records, have not only cemented her place in the annals of basketball history, but also highlighted the increasing prominence and competitiveness of the women's game. This groundbreaking moment is poised to shift the landscape of professional basketball and elevate the WNBA's profile on a global stage. Let's explore how Caitlin Clark's remarkable accomplishments are making waves and what this means for the future of the WNBA.
Yeah, when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal. I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Ever? Well, I don't know about you. You ever heard of Cheryl Miller?
Ever.
Maya Moore?
Yeah, I said what I said. Ever.
Diana Taurasi?
I said what I said.
No disrespect.
Listen,
Caitlin Clark is amazing.
This is my opinion.
Candace
I'm not
Parker?
changing.
Nobody's ever shot it like her. No, she's like Steph
said
Curry.
what I said.
Yeah.
You're right. Listen, I ain't disrespecting nobody. It's just my opinion, and I ain't going to change it. How about that?
Caitlin Clark's recent accomplishments on the basketball court have set a new precedent, with her performances leaving an indelible mark on the sport and eclipsing records once held by Michael Jordan. Clark's journey from a standout college player to a record-breaking force in professional basketball reflects a broader shift in the landscape of the game, highlighting the extraordinary talent and potential within women's basketball. Clark's rise to prominence began during her time at the University of Iowa, where her exceptional skills quickly made her a household name. She consistently delivered standout performances, showcasing an impressive scoring ability, vision, and leadership on the court. Her impact was felt immediately, as she set several records during her college career. However, it was her transition to the professional level that truly demonstrated her ability to transform the game and challenge records previously held by basketball legends, including Michael Jordan. One of the key records Clark has broken relates to single-season scoring. During her time at Iowa, Clark achieved a scoring average that surpassed the NCAA record for most points in a single season. This record was previously held by Michael Jordan, who set the benchmark during his college career at the University of North Carolina. Clark's ability to exceed Jordan's record speaks volumes about her scoring prowess and the evolution of the game. Her impressive scoring feats, including her ability to consistently hit high numbers in games and maintain an exceptional average throughout the season, underscore her place among the basketball elite. Another significant achievement for Clark is her performance in postseason play. During the NCAA tournament, Clark's scoring ability was on full display as she led her team to the Final Four, breaking records for most points scored in a single tournament. This performance not only highlighted her individual talent, but also showcased her ability to perform under pressure and in high-stakes situations. Clark's ability to outshine even the most celebrated players in postseason history, including those with records set by Jordan, marks a pivotal moment in the sport. Clark's influence extends beyond scoring records. Her all-around game has redefined expectations for players in her position. She has set new records for assists and triple-doubles, areas where Jordan's records were also once considered unbreakable. Clark's versatility on the court, combining scoring with playmaking and defensive contributions, has set a new standard for excellence and highlighted the evolving nature of the game. The impact of Clark's achievements is not limited to statistical records. Her success has significant implications for the WNBA and women's professional basketball. Clark's ability to break records once held by Jordan, a figure synonymous with basketball greatness, has elevated the visibility of the women's game and underscored its growing competitiveness. As Clark's profile continues to rise, she serves as a powerful role model and a symbol of the potential within women's basketball. The broader implications of Clark's accomplishments are evident in the increased attention and respect for women's basketball. Her record-breaking performances challenge long-held perceptions about the relative quality and visibility of women's professional sports. As Clark continues to excel, she helps to pave the way for future generations of female athletes, demonstrating that women's basketball can achieve levels of excellence and recognition comparable to those in men's sports. Clark's achievements also highlight the increasing investment and support for women's basketball. As she breaks records and garners attention, the sport is experiencing a surge in interest from fans, media, and sponsors. This growing support is crucial for the continued development and success of women's basketball, and Clark's success plays a significant role in driving this positive momentum. Moreover, Clark's ability to challenge and surpass records previously held by Jordan brings a fresh perspective to discussions about greatness in basketball. While Jordan's legacy remains firmly established, Clark's accomplishments add a new dimension to the conversation about what constitutes greatness in the sport. Her success prompts a re-evaluation of historical records and achievements, highlighting the evolving nature of basketball and the emergence of new legends. As Clark continues to build on her impressive career, her influence extends beyond the court. Her achievements inspire young athletes, particularly female players, to pursue their dreams and strive for excellence. Clark's success serves as a testament to the dedication, skill, and perseverance required to excel in professional sports, and her impact is likely to resonate for years to come. The significance of Clark's accomplishments is further underscored by the context of her achievements. Breaking records once held by a player like Michael Jordan, who is often regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, is no small feat. Jordan's influence on the game is profound, and his records have long been considered benchmarks of excellence. Clark's ability to surpass these records highlights her extraordinary talent and the evolving landscape of basketball. In addition to her individual accomplishments, Clark's success has broader implications for the future of the sport. Her achievements contribute to the growing recognition and respect for women's basketball, and her influence extends to various aspects of the game, including coaching, media coverage, and fan engagement. As Clark continues to make history, her impact on the sport will likely be felt for generations to come. As the basketball community reflects on Clark's remarkable achievements, it is important to acknowledge the broader context of her success. Her ability to break records held by a player of Jordan's stature speaks to the evolving nature of the game and the exceptional talent that exists within women's basketball. Clark's accomplishments are a testament to her dedication, skill, and determination, and they serve as a powerful reminder of the potential and greatness within the sport. In conclusion, Caitlin Clark's record-breaking achievements represent a transformative moment in basketball history. Her success in surpassing records previously held by Michael Jordan is a testament to her exceptional talent and the evolving nature of the sport. As Clark continues to excel and make history, her impact on the WNBA and women's basketball will be felt for years to come. Her accomplishments not only highlight her individual greatness, but also contribute to the growing recognition and respect for women's professional sports. As the landscape of basketball continues to evolve, Caitlin Clark's legacy will serve as a powerful symbol of excellence and inspiration for future generations of athletes. In a moment that shocked basketball fans, a heated confrontation unfolded as Cheryl Swoops, a legendary figure in women's basketball, shoved rising star Caitlin Clark during a game in front of Indiana Fever fans. The incident occurred during an intense matchup where competitive tensions ran high between the two players. Swoops, known for her fierce playing style, appeared frustrated with Clark's aggressive play, leading to the physical altercation that left the crowd in stunned silence. The confrontation has sparked widespread discussion, highlighting the intensity and passion that can flare up even among the sport's most respected athletes.
I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlin has the ball, she pushes off.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying.
During a high-stakes WNBA game, an unexpected and shocking incident unfolded that left fans and players alike stunned. Caitlin Clark, one of the brightest young stars in women's basketball, found herself at the center of controversy when legendary WNBA figure Cheryl Swoops, attending the game as a spectator, unexpectedly got involved in a heated on-court moment. The game was already intense, with the Indiana Fever hosting a team featuring Clark, who had been dazzling fans with her scoring and playmaking abilities throughout the season. The crowd was fully engaged, aware that they were witnessing one of the most exciting players in the league. However, as the game neared its climax, tensions between the players and fans were reaching a boiling point. Clark, known for her aggressive and fearless style of play, was driving her team forward in a closely contested game. The stakes were high, and every possession counted. The Fever players were doing everything they could to contain Clark, who was making them pay with her deep shooting range and relentless drives to the basket. The game was physical, with both teams fighting for every inch on the court. Suddenly, in the midst of this intense competition, something happened that no one could have anticipated. During a scramble for the ball near the sideline, Clark collided with a Fever player, and the ball rolled out of bounds toward where Cheryl Swoops was seated. In a moment of frustration and what appeared to be protectiveness over her team, Swoops, who had been intensely watching the game, unexpectedly stepped onto the court and shoved Clark. The shove sent Clark stumbling, and the arena erupted in disbelief. The referees immediately intervened, and security quickly escorted Swoops back to her seat. The players on the court were visibly shocked, with some Fever players attempting to calm the situation while others exchanged heated words with Clark's teammates. The crowd, initially stunned, began to react vocally, with some cheering for Swoops' actions, while others expressed their disapproval. particularly due to Swoops's remarks about Clark on her podcast, Queens of the Court. Swoops, who is celebrated for her remarkable career, including 4 WNBA championships, has been a prominent figure in discussions about the current state of the league. Her insights are often sought after, given her experience and success. However, her commentary on Clark has sparked significant debate, with many fans questioning whether her views might reflect a personal dislike of the rookie. Caitlin Clark, a standout player from her college days at Iowa, entered the WNBA with high expectations. Known for her exceptional scoring ability, playmaking skills, and a fearless approach to the game, Clark has quickly become one of the league's most talked-about players. Her transition from college to professional basketball was closely watched, and many anticipated that she would make an immediate impact. Her performance in her rookie season has indeed been impressive, but it has also attracted a range of opinions, including those from Swoops. On her Queens of the Court podcast, Swoops has dedicated several episodes to discussing the current state of women's basketball and the promising new talents emerging in the league. Caitlin Clark has been a recurring topic of discussion. Swoops has offered detailed analyses of Clark's playing style, strengths, and areas where she could improve. While Swoops's comments are intended to be insightful and constructive, they have been met with mixed reactions from fans and observers. One point of contention is Swoops's criticism of Clark's decision-making and shot selection. In various episodes, Swoops has pointed out instances where Clark's choices on the court could be improved. For example, she has discussed situations where Clark's aggressive approach, while often effective, might benefit from a more strategic consideration of team dynamics and defensive schemes. Swoops's comments have been interpreted by some as constructive feedback, aimed at helping Clark grow as a player. However, others have perceived them as harsh or overly critical. From the outset of Clark's professional career, Swoops has been consistently discussing her on her podcast, which dives into various aspects of women's basketball. While Swoops's commentary is intended to provide insights and analysis, it has not been without its critics. Some fans have interpreted Swoops's remarks as dismissive or critical, sparking a debate over whether the WNBA legend actually dislikes Clark.
Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game. You have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them.
Yeah.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
The perception of animosity has been fueled by the fact that Swoops, despite her status as a basketball legend, has not shied away from offering candid opinions about Clark. This directness has been a hallmark of Swoops's commentary style,